One Piece chapter 864. First off, I think we're actually back into having canon cover pages, although I'm not entirely sure, but from what it looks like, it seems like we're, finally gonna get some good stuff that goes along with the story, because I was really getting tired of those cover page requests, Crocodile saving a dog or something, like, nah. But this cover page, we get to see Cavendish ship, and which was cool, and we also had the Straw Hat Jolly Roger on there, which kind of symbolizes his position as the first captain of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. But on to the chapter. We finally see Big Mom's reaction after the picture was broken, and she's like in a coma-like state, but it was also mentioned that she's having two tantrums at the same time. Not only is she having the hunger for the cake that, Luffy destroyed, but also Mother Caramel's picture is also broken. And I said this in my last video, like, that Big Mom is gonna have a completely different reaction from the last tea party or wedding that she went crazy. So maybe this time, instead of like her defense lowering, she might have like a crazy rage mode that is maybe amplified, and she will probably just kill anyone she sees. Maybe it's gonna happen that way, because I don't think she's gonna have the same reaction as last time. Again, I don't think Big Mom is going down this arc, but we might get to see what these prime Yonkos are fully capable of, and that will give Luffy a power scale of how strong these individuals are, what he's actually dealing with right now. This is a good estimation, when Luffy finally gets ready for his war against Kaido, and that would show Luffy isn't ready. However, these Yonko battles are not going to be 1v1, because these guys are like insanely strong. When Kaido versus Luffy comes up, it's literally going to be Kaido versus everybody else on the island, but Luffy is just going to be like the major player there. And Brook, again, like being the MVP of this arc, the man was just trolling. He had all the funny moments in this chapter. Big Mom was like, "I thought you were dead, Soul King." Then Brook was like, "Yeah, I died ages ago." So he still has that whole gag going on, and he was going along with the plan. When Capone pushed Luffy on the floor, he purposely cut his own head off. So that was too funny, bro. He made it seem like he was getting attacked, which was funny. No, I mean, like, Brook, man, what can I say? This man, MVP, yo. Again, I think we all predicted this, but the plan isn't going according to plan, but it's definitely in their favor right now. I mean, Pudding is still kind of like in denial right now, Sanji being the only person that called her beautiful. Obviously, she isn't going to change immediately, so it has to be like a progressive thing. She's eventually going to have a change of heart, maybe later down the line during this arc. Maybe Sanji saves her from like a bullet or something, something crazy like that, and she might help the Straw Hats, potentially leave the island later on. Maybe she erases the memories of some people, because I think Pudding is not going to stay with Big Mom after this arc. She's going to leave with the Straw Hats, and she's going to do her thing by herself. I don't know if she's going to be a Nakama on the crew. I don't know, that's debatable. Now, Sanji's matchup this arc seems to be Daifuku, who is the third son of Big Mom, and he has the lamp devil fruit like Aladdin, the genie thing. He reminds me so much of Ugo from Magi, if you ever seen that. But when I first looked at it, it looks like he had full body ornament. So when I first saw that page, I thought someone was like going in like on some Virgo status. So I was kind of a little shook of that panel. But that might just be the color scheme of his, the lamp devil fruit. I don't know if the lamp actually has full body ornament or he's just black like that. He probably has full body ornament. But yeah, that's a really strange devil fruit. But I think Sanji probably beats him, because Sanji was having a full-blown conversation with Jinbei when he was fighting Daifuku. It looks like he wasn't taking that man serious. Again, Sanji wasn't using Diablo Janbei, he was just using regular kicks. So I don't know, I don't think, unless Daifuku steps his game up and like he comes like the genie becomes like 10 times bigger, maybe that's when Sanji gets real. But I could be wrong. This is the first time we've seen a devil fruit like this, so we have to expect a lot from it. It's kind of like Stans from JoJo. But yeah, it might be a Paramecia or a Zone. I'm probably leaning towards Paramecia, because he's not actually changing, he's creating something from like a lamp. It looks like he came from his belt actually, so I'm guessing it's a Paramecia. But it's a really strange devil fruit. I've never seen this type of devil fruit before. Also, for all the people that didn't think Jinbei had Haki, well, he does. It was shown this chapter he was using Haki, arguably for the first time in the series, because a lot of people always bring up Jinbei can only use water to affect devil fruit user, and that's how he fought Ace. I mean, I'll definitely say that was a factor to fighting Ace, but I don't think that was all of it. But yeah, he's definitely a Haki user. I've always said this, people are still in denial, But you know, I can only imagine the combinations with Fishman, Karate, and Haki, because I remember the whole clash he had with Akainu during Marineford, where he blocked Akainu's like raging fist. That was like confirmation for me that this man has Arnament Haki. I think he used Arnament Haki and Fishman Karate to kind of like nullify most of the damage Akainu was putting out. We also have Pedro, whose matchup is Oven, and he has the Netsu no Mi, which is like a heat-based Paramecia, and it's a lot similar to the guy we saw in the filler, in that one filler, you know, pre-time skip with the magma guy. He looks like he had magma, but he just melts stuff. But that guy was using like lava in a way, so it might be like a higher caliber of that version, or lower caliber. But yeah, Pedro, I don't know, they look strong, but I think they're Pedro and Sanji are definitely beating these dudes. Again, I don't know how, if they're Yonko commander level, I doubt it, but they have some really strange devil fruits. But on to the biggest disappointment this chapter, yo. Vinsmoke L Judge. I can already see the memes that are going to come out of this. The community is going to put this man in a dumpster, yo. Remember like when we had the whole situation with Bobbins, he's trash, all of that. Judge is just going to go down in history as the L taker, like literally. I still can't believe that Judge was this stupid and oblivious to think that, you know, he's going to a Yonko's territories with no sort of backup plan. Like, I really don't understand. There were hints there and there, but you know, sometimes Oda just messes the whole scenario up, and you know, he goes whatever he wants to go with. So I still had like a slight hint of like, maybe this man has like a ulterior motive. You know, Nord Blue isn't just everything he wants. He might have something in store later, but apparently he is a trash man. I'm pretty sure that's what the community is going to be calling him from now on. But yeah, I gotta give props to his kids though. Ichiji, Niji, Yonji, and Reiju all seem casual in that situation. So you know, I definitely think we're gonna see the full capabilities of their abilities as they fight with Big Mom's kids this arc. But Judge was such a disappointment. Like, I feel like his kids may be the only thing that saves him now. I mean, the man was crying. He was crying. A grown man like himself was crying, yo. It must have been like a massive shock for him. So he was definitely oblivious to the fact that Big Mom might betray him. Like, he was oblivious to that shit. But yeah, Judge was really lame this chapter. I think I'm not expecting much from him again, unless like this whole thing was a lie in his acting, which I doubt, but it's still a possibility. A 0% chance though. I don't think that's the case, but I do think Ichiji, Reiju, you know, all the kids, they're gonna do like, I think Ichiji may overthrow Judge for some reason, because maybe he doesn't like the way he thinks, because he kind of threw shades at Judge in this chapter. So there might be some correlations there where, you know, he wants to become the next leader and lead the army to greater heights than the Nord Blue, because the Nord Blue, I mean, really, Judge for Yonko, I don't know. They also elaborated on Katakuri's weakness. While he may be able to see the future, everybody apparently has the power to change it. So whatever future he sees is not absolute, so it's not 100%, because it can always change at any given moment. So that's definitely a weakness. I think I mean everybody kind of like noticed that, but I didn't think it was to this extent. I thought it was like only a couple of people that can like change the future, but it seems like everybody can change it given the situation Katakuri is in. But my question here is, why is Capone heading towards Katakuri? He should be technically going towards Big Mom to, you know, to use the cannons right now, but he's going towards Katakuri. So he might be trying to kill Katakuri, one of them cannons right now, or is he going to use his ability, you know, to put Katakuri in like in a cage or something? Because he did mention that Katakuri was the biggest problem for him at this point. But yeah, I don't really know why he's heading towards Big Mom, I mean Katakuri right now. But he did say like Katakuri saw the future and something is gonna go crazy, because he saw Katakuri's reaction, what's gonna happen in future. Again, it's not an absolute future, so we shouldn't expect too much from that, given that this chapter just explained that whole thing there. But this chapter was amazing. I give this an 8 out of 10. And I think we're gonna be getting the chapters on Tuesday from now on, since, you know, the whole Golden Week kind of messed up the whole schedule. It is Pharaoh. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't before, and I will see you guys later. Peace.